Ladies and gentlemen, it's your Tanis Atiza slash Masa Meneer Mr. C, and you are now joined to another action-packed episode of the Bushy Podcast, and we have Bushy royalty in the house. But before we get to that, so shall I say, you fear for you, dear, is it?
Yes.
Is it?
No, I'm supposed to be here, but yes.
Gentleman
yes,
on the left, who is you?
Of course. But every week you guys see me, Eric Jansen, the one and only comedian extraordinaire, and everything else extraordinaire as well. If the price is right, you know how it goes. And on the other side of the couch, who do we have?
The one and only Yellow Bone, Sanbonani Salam. Hey, it's your boy, je Dimper in Popo. Maak voor wat liegers, maak lieg wat volgers. The best MC in the world. Best actor, best comedian, best of the best. We here back with another blockbuster. Another episode of the Bushy Podcast. Issue.
Dimpy, you forgot to say soon to be best podcaster.
Oh, soon to be best podcaster.
But
How's
we
my
have...
English?
But I think we have one of the best, one of the greatest colored men to ever exist.
You know, our unbiological uncle.
From
back in the day. We all know this is our uncle.
Yeah.
The most well-known uncle. Director, writer,
Alright.
actor, award-winning, all of the things.
Yo. When's that guy coming?
I think he's here. I
believe so. I heard a rumor it might be. Okay, welcome
he's
to
with
the
us.
podcast, Mr.
Thank you guys. Yes, it's good to be here on the Bushy broadcast. It's an honor to be here, man. I see what you're doing, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. So it's good to
Great. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. And I mean, we are here to talk. We are here to have conversations that I feel like we don't get the privilege of having with like our parents, with our elders. And I mean, obviously, because it's video and because they see you, they'll listen now. Because
okay. Yeah, I'm dying to know what you guys are going to ask me.
You're the main man right now.
I guess I want to...
I'm getting Dimby to do my next MC.
Amen.
You're going to do the stand-up.
Oh, that's dope. Nah, I'm happy.
Ek hoor nou die CV's so wat gegooi so.
See what intro was. Yes.
Guys, we're gonna crop where it doesn't joke.
Yes.
So today I want to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to know what's been on all of our hearts.
Yeah.
Why did Neville Minkies pull
Eish.
Stefano de Mera? Is the just out the
And the moves.
I'm the only actor to have died twice on South African television, I think.
Wow. That's insane.
I don't know, maybe another soapie has done it since, but I remember being the only one. You know, I was on Sewende Laan for 12 years, all in all. No?
Yes.
Isidingo before that for 3.
Yes.
And you know, the soapies can be very prescriptive. Hulle sê, jy moet so act, jy moet dit doen,
Yes.
and you're in this box
Yes.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And you want to be outside the box when you want to do other stuff, and then you ask them, and you got to put months in advance for leave or special, you know, because they must write it out
And
of
those
the story.
writers script you in.
You know what I mean? When you're in, you can't move now.
Yeah.
No, we've got the story, it's done. So I asked the first time to go and do stuff, and in that time I did some great stuff when I did die the first time. But luckily I died off screen.
Oh, okay.
They just said, hey, Neville is doing it. Neville is doing it. Yeah. Nee, in a car, it was a
Car
car
accident.
It was a car accident. He died in a car accident and the car burnt up.
Oh no.
And it's just ashes. We can't identify the body.
Yeah.
So it was off screen. So you didn't see it happen.
Really, yeah.
And in that time, I made a movie called Father, which we shot in the Cape Flats. I wrote a book.
Okay.
I just was outside that box doing other great stuff. And you know, I also run an NGO called the Fatherhood Foundation.
I was going to ask about
So
that.
I was doing a lot of that. I managed to just expand my wings in that one.
Yeah.
Then after a year and a half or 2 years, they say, hey man, the viewers want to know what happened to this guy. And it's not the same. Auntie Charmaine is by herself, Sander is by himself, Vince.
Ik weet gehoord het was aan de
You know?
show.
Yeah.
Nee, the worst part is Auntie Charmaine.
I grew up with Uncle
I think I was heartbroken at the fact that she moved on so
Yeah,
quickly.
she moved on
Yes.
fast.
And it was like, I'm like, what is this? I'm like,
Writers.
No time for grieving and mourning. Just
Yeah, no,
the
the
storyline
unbeweerd.
must go on.
And then dan steek ek uit, just as she's about to get married, Neville makes a return. And then they said, please come back. The show's not the same without Neville and the family.
Yes.
They wanted that family unit, which for me was important. Because when I joined the show, when they asked me, I was on Isidingo and I wasn't doing much on Isidingo. So they said, listen, we got this, Seven Land's been running, don't you want to come play a part? So I said, if I come there, I'm not playing a gangster or a drug dealer.
I wish I did that.
Or what, you know, I'm there now. I want to play something that is aspirational for my people.
Yes.
I'm tired of playing these. It's fine, it's
Typical
fine.
roles, yes.
Four corners and
Yes.
my name is Scully. We tell those stories, we must tell them. But I'm now, we must put our people,
On a pedestal. We need
he
to
must
on
be a
the level.
prophet. They said, no, he's going to run the newspaper.
Oh, that's great.
So I said, okay, that's a good thing. Then they said, you're going to have a son that's a lawyer, and the other son, they didn't know yet what Vince was going to do. Vince must run the deli or something.
Yes.
So, you know, the positive role models. I said, then I'm coming. So when he died the first time, they said, please come back. That unit is gone, which was a good thing for me as well. It made me feel a bit guilty also. Om te sê, nee, ek moet maar teruggaan. Because I understood that there are so many of our homes in South Africa that are single parent homes.
Yes.
And Charmaine was doing that now.
Yeah.
Okay, she was moving on with this other guy that she was going to marry. But
It's the depiction of...
they knew the work I was doing with fatherhood to fungal him with slapriem. They said, please, this woman can't be on her own comeback. So I said, okay, I'll come back. I'll come back for a short while and see what happens. Then when I came back, after the freedom I had outside that box and doing other things, I said to them, listen, man, when I come back now, please, can I work 3 days a week instead of the full 5? Because I've got other stuff I want to do.
Yes.
To do as well.
No, you can't. You either work
work
like this or
straight
not.
5 or
So
not,
I hung out. I stuck it out for 2 more years, and then I couldn't. Now, I used to be the guy that meet everyone outside by the tables, and we
Yes.
joke and laugh
Yes,
there. I
yes,
was
yes,
the guy
yes.
that get everyone together,
Yes.
you know. And then I found myself not going there. I was staying in my dressing room. Then I knew I was unhappy. And you know, on soapies, you get paid fairly well. It's
Yes.
good money.
I know.
You know,
But at the times
I
also.
was,
Yeah.
I was,
Hey,
I was
Shay
there
was
too.
there,
I was there.
We're gonna get to that now, no? We're gonna get to that.
as well for
Yeah,
a
you know
short 2
that. So
years.
you know
Yeah, I
that monthly salary, you
the
can
life
you can
going.
plan a life. You can,
It was a surprise the first
and
time.
and then I said, hey, yeah, I'm
He was Dimpy voor ek Dimpy geweest.
yeah.
He was first on TV, then I came.
Yes.
Was he the first yellow bone?
Yeah, you were the
The
first.
original, unoriginal.
Yes.
Then they had to get the real thing.
Yeah.
I understand it. I understand it.
So
And
you're
then-
coming back to that.
Then they said, please come back. And then I went back. And then I was so unhappy. I said to my wife, listen, I can't. She said, hey, but you know, we're doing well financially. We're up again. I said, I know, but I'd rather be poor and be unhappy. That's the worst thing you can be. It's something that you have a talent for and it's making you unhappy.
And it's making
You don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I said, listen, God will make a way. Let's just check what we're going to do. And I said to them, please, I need my 2 days off a week. They said, no, you either leave or you work like we want you to work. They were very prescriptive back then. Things changed about 2 months after I left Seven Land.
Oh.
2 months
all of
after
a
I
sudden.
So what
left,
does that tell
they
you?
changed. Yo,
They were waiting. They
I
were
was so
waiting for you
angry.
to
I'm going
leave.
like,
Guys.
now you changed everything the way I wanted it now. But by then we had made
So
this.
what had it changed?
So I said,
Zevende land af na 8ste land.
hey.
Net 2 maanden.
Then I said, okay, they said then we must kill you again. I said, fine, but this time I
Kill you
die
again.
on screen. I die on screen.
So
En
it's
julle
final.
moet daai laken oor my so sit.
Yes.
You know, they
I
put
want to be
that-
dead.
I want that.
Dead.
And then Shaman. And then they made a very good story where Charmaine's evil twin sister kills me.
Oh.
Because Neville was so popular in Neville and Charmaine. You know, if I had a 1 rand thing before every time someone said, "Waar Charmaine?" I would have been a millionaire.
You'd be, I mean,
So we were
masking.
such a great couple, and Seven Land was at the peak at that time.
Yes.
It was the popular show,
Yes,
you
yes.
know. And then they made her evil twin sister kill me, which was, I think, a brilliant story.
That is a brilliant
Because you
story.
can't be angry at Charmaine because it wasn't her,
wasn't
it
her.
was a sister.
Yes.
But there's also no other person you can be angry for killing this guy.
Yes.
And it was sad. I watching it, I even cried, you know, the funeral and everything.
Yeah.
But when it's time, it's time.
Yeah.
You know, and then after that, the show took a turn also in storylines
Yes.
that I couldn't watch with the kids anymore now. They put other stuff on there. It used to be a family show. The whole family could sit there and watch
it.
the show.
That show
But
put so
more
many of my
risky.
friends. Yeah, it put so many of my friends through Afrikaans
You know
in high
what I
school.
mean?
Actually,
We know
Yeah.
that. So we spoke proper Afrikaans.
yeah.
You know, so even as the colored family, as the Bushy family, we didn't say "de."
Yeah.
Hello, de. Hello, ma. You know, Hello, Pa.
Hello,
It was
Pa.
very,
Yeah.
very, very, very Pa.
Afrikaans,
Very
yeah.
Pa. Sandra and Vince and used to say Pa and so on, you
I
know.
sort of know, like some of the slang that was used, I've never heard it in real life. Like
Yeah.
to comic, nah, genuine, bro.
Yeah.
Or
Genuine.
like
That came
ek
with,
kom nou, daar was 'n
with
movie
Chris
so.
too.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, that came. That
Yeah,
came
they
with,
got
with
they
the,
got
with the era
Errol
of
to
Chris,
come in
yeah,
and do
Errol,
some
yeah.
nice stuff, which was he's a brilliant actor,
Yes.
you know, and I actually got him onto the show. We were doing a show together called Shirley Goodness and Mercy, which was a show about growing up in Rivoli, written by Chris van Wyk.
Okay.
He wrote a book called Shirley Goodness and Mercy, and I played Chris, and Christo played the younger Chris. I played the older Chris telling the story, looking back on my life, and he played the younger Chris. And then I told Shevan, the producers, I said, hey, you must come check this actor.
He's good.
You must come see him, come check. You got to write something for him on the show. And they came and they saw him and they said, hey, and they wrote Errol.
That's great.
So I always tease him about that, you know. Yeah, I made your career, son. You know?
So I've always kind of
If
been
you
father
went-
and son.
Yeah.
You went
Father
the
and son on
younger
screen.
me.
That's right. We tease each other like that the whole time, you know.
Yeah.
He likes to tease me. He knows every word. Christo, for some odd reason, knows every word of everything. He'll tell me when I played Mackie in the game. Way before your guys' time, I played on a series called The Game, which was about rugby. It was the first rugby soapy. No, SABC.
Like Getroud, similar to
Like,
Getroud.
but it was a weekly series, just
Oh, okay,
once a
okay.
week.
Okay.
Getroud was a soapy.
Yes.
Back when I started TV, there was no soapies, mas. It was a weekly program.
Okay.
And that was the popular show. So I was kind of famous from The Game already.
Yeah.
He would know the lines, and his grandfather was on that show. Christo's grandfather.
That's
I
insane.
played opposite his grandfather. He says, yeah. And then you must set this line in. I'm going like, I don't even remember that, Christo. How do you remember that? Because they watched it. It was
Yes.
like,
It was the
it
thing.
became a
Religion
culture
to
thing. It
them.
was the original.
Yes.
It was the original sort of fixated. We're going to watch this one popular
This
show,
is
you
the
know.
program.
And it was rugby. You know, South Africa's rugby man.
Hey.
And I played the first black Springbok in the story.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Me and Gavin Hood.
Yes.
Gavin Hood is now famous Hollywood director. He directed Wolverine, Tsotsi,
Yes, Wolverine, Tsotsi, yeah.
but he's directed a number of Hollywood movies with some big name people. Him and I started together, and he was a lawyer. I wasn't even an actor.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so we played these two, call it a bushy lighty and a white lighty, who grow up together, and they get to play for the Springboks.
Oh, that's-
And we follow this journey of our. So it was a very popular show. It was like the show to watch, you know. And so we got famous like that already back then. So Christo would remember all of that.
So then where did the Isidingo gig? That's got to be like
So,
the earliest
yeah.
memory of.
Was Isidingo as well? Yeah. So we were. I was. You know, soapies then started coming out. Soapies were the thing now. South Africa started doing soapies. Then they said, listen, we've got this soapy. We want a new mine manager because Slomla Dandala was leaving the show, and they wanted a new mine manager, and they needed someone with tall and stature. And I don't know why they chose me, but I was very happy. And they chose me, and I really, that was a nice gig. That was
Yeah.
a good show to be on.
Yes.
And also at that time, Isidingo was the top show.
Isidingo
Everybody
was
watched
the top
that.
show. Siya Dallon was the top
Yeah.
show.
I'm not saying because of me. I'm not saying
No.
that.
I
I'm
mean,
not saying that people. I'm
I
just
remember
saying,
because that was the time we only had the one TV, so we were all forced to watch the same thing.
yeah.
So every night in
Yeah,
sequence, it would go from Scandal to Isidingo, from Isidingo to the news, from the news to Generations, and then to bed.
And then
you
they all
had
Like a
Sorry.
good
17.
4 years. Yes, before we got like proper DSTV, and then everyone just started watching their own things.
Yes.
But
remember
I
for
agree,
us-
like it was.
Yes,
it was
there was,
quite
but
the
there was
time.
something nice about that. Like we only have one TV in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids have got their. We can watch everything on phones now.
the phones, yeah.
But our young kids, we don't. We watch TV. We sit in front of the TV, and we make sure we have family time. It used to be a bad thing, but now I'm actually finding it's a good thing.
Yes.
That we get to sit with the younger kids. My twins are 11. My other son just turned 16. My wife and I. And sometimes the big guys will come join us, the older ones. And we watch TV together, you know, instead of in your rooms and
Yes,
stuff.
everybody.
And
divided.
I find that such a nice bonding thing for a family to do.
It is.
So that was good 4
Yes.
years of.
Yeah, that was an
A
incredible
lot of
4
things
years.
Yeah.
changed now.
Because we'd sit down and then
No,
my father,
everything's changed now.
No,
You-
ze
you
sit net op phone en
Verstaan jy?
allemaal wel
Ja.
op eie kamer en gaan sit.
That's
en-
it.
because that
That's
also
it.
creates the community. Because now
That's
you sit
why-
down and you forget what happened last night. And you're like,
Yeah.
hey man, what did he do last night? No, he did this. And then
Yeah.
like, oh, I
Like
did-
my kids, I don't allow them to have phones till they're 13. Eh?
that's
And
solid.
even then, it's got limited stuff on it. I don't believe in having kids. I see children who are in grade 1 and 2 with cell phones.
Walking around with cell
Tablets
phones,
and
yes.
laptops.
Calling their mommy, come fetch me, or where's the driver?
Spanish.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Look, just there's pros and cons, but I prefer my kids must know how that device works
Yes.
and what the dangers are.
Yes.
And you're not ready. I prefer you to read. I prefer you to. Kids don't read today.
Kids don't play
They can't
outside.
spell. They don't go outside.
They don't
There's
play outside.
obesity. They don't bleed enough. I always say that.
Hey,
When we were young,
We all have a scout on me.
I've got one right now from
Yeah.
battle that I played on Tuesday.
you know what I'm saying? My kids don't bleed. I'm telling you, you come with that attitude because you didn't bleed enough. Son.
Yes.
You must be
You
go outside,
You
climb a
haven't
tree. They
fallen
ask
off
me.
a bicycle
I
enough
said,
to know.
put that PlayStation down. Go climb the tree.
Yes.
What must I go do? I said, just climb
Just
the tree.
climb.
Go up there.
For the
to
sake
top.
of
Just feel what it's like. Huh? Why? I'm saying, just do it. You'll see. We used to climb every tree, some of for no reason. And what was geskel? Klim hier, boy.
Walking on the fence.
You know, everything. We
Silly
come home
things.
with, you fell off the bicycle, you fell as af so man, you know.
And
Germaline on there, or
back
what,
then you couldn't,
Makura
you couldn't still tell your parents, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when the beating happens.
That's exactly.
Hoekom jy gevaar?
Yeah, but the next day
There
you're
you
back
go.
on that bike riding again.
Like I know you guys are like far older than me.
No, you're older than I am.
Oh, yeah,
I just
I'm
played
older
outside more than you
man.
did.
It's just you pick up weights and I don't pick up weights. But
Leave the
I
weights.
remember also my time, especially in terms of that, like how things have changed over the years and goed. Back then it like personally, because I'm from Kliptown, right? I used to play a Gaiki Club,
Yes.
C2C.
Yes.
That's I China Rockets,
Kenneke.
China.
Yes,
yeah.
Kenneke, China Road.
Kenneke,
All of
die
that, yeah.
10 en alles. En dan
Ja.
ken ik, before the street light goes on, I need to be by the house.
That was us. Now you see, you got it.
Yeah,
You know
maar-
it.
No,
Voor
then
Maghrib.
we from the same thing.
Voor Maghrib, ik moet in je huis en
Ja.
en je was nou om light, so ik is puk zwaar.
But nowadays times have
Harris
changed.
Paul
We went from C2C. We don't want to play C2C. Now we play Pink Ladies.
Flee en
Now we
alles.
play Pink Ladies.
Oh no.
No,
What is
straight
Pink Ladies? I
TikTok.
don't know what
What is
Pink
Pink
Ladies is.
Oh, yeah, you end up missing. And you end
Oh
up on Pink Ladies.
no.
Oh.
Oh no, that got dark. That got terribly dark. No man.
Is die mensen van rij gepakt?
I'm from there. We don't know. We just find you like an hour after that. 2 streets further than
C2C.
you got lost. You got
But
lost.
I
in there.
think I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but in terms of like especially technology, soos hulle sê met die phone en goed. I think most of them it helped the country and it helped kids in a lot of ways, but it also affected them also in other ways because now, hence I'm saying that everywhere you go, like is we are sitting here, but he's sitting op een phone. Is busy.
You go to a restaurant.
Yes, we are not.
Everyone's on their phone. No, the family's not even talking. They're not even looking around to check.
What's
Hey, I
happening
wonder
around.
what that guy's eating. Yeah, they're on their phone.
So rather post like this thing of WhatsApp that whatever I need to say to you, I'll post it on my status.
Yeah.
Ek sit hier kry waarom.
Yeah. No, in my house, in my house.
No, I do it. It's just broadcast.
Yes.
So in my house, we have this rule: every night we're eating around the table.
Yes.
Every night,
nice.
we
Oh,
don't
that's
miss it.
incredible.
It's a big thing for me
Yes.
because I teach men this in fatherhood.
Yes.
That you, to get men to come back to being leaders of their homes and prophet, priest, and king, or whatever the leaders of their homes. The first thing they can do is have dinner every night in front, around the table with their kids,
Yes.
and no technology at the table. Now we can talk. Now I can say, did you feed the dogs? Did you clean up the mess? How's school? You know, why is your eyes so red? What's going on?
Bringing
That's when you
attention-
check what things are
bringing
going
attention
on.
What's
back.
happening?
Yes.
You know, it's a connection. And we at our dinner table, you talk. There's no of, please, we're eating, quiet. I don't believe that. I believe it's a time for connection.
You'll
Now the
chew-
children are telling me in class they did this, and the teacher said that, and then a friend did this. And
Yeah.
it's a nice connection moment.
That's
Every
correct.
night we do that. And for me, that's vitally important.
That's family, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So ek moet ook 'n tafel koop mos.
you have to believe, if you want to be a good dad, make sure your family eats around the table.
Dat het is a specific time that
No,
you
you
When
for
the
me,
food is ready, man.
and for me, if you didn't let me know, you're not going to be there. Like, listen, I'm working late, or my friend, keep food, dish up for me. If you don't, I have seconds.
Hey.
I have seconds, the other kids can have seconds. Jy het nie
Hey.
gebel, as nie kos vir jou nie. Sorry.
That's
jy het
for
nie-
you. You shall eat
I'm
another
assuming
years.
you're eating there where you are.
Wherever you are. Wherever you are.
You're not at my table, so you must be somewhere else. And I didn't receive a WhatsApp to say, please,
Keep something
just
aside.
keep something because I'm
That's
doing this.
funny.
You
I
know,
think if
for
we
me.
can bring that back, man, that would
Yes.
be nice.
That's
But just do it.
passive aggressive. That's passive aggression that right there.
Nee, dat is 'n leer. That's how we
it's
grew
cool.
up.
That's
eh?
how you learn.
That's how we grew up.
encourage that.
You
Let's try to bring that kind of things back again.
It is vitally
Laat ons
important.
allemaal it doesn't have to be a table.
Ja.
Anders dan 'n voorreisen of wat. Laat ons sit en 'n bietjie gesels. Sit net die phone weg, even if it's for 1-2 hours or something, and we communicate with each other. Laat ons
It is.
gesels.
Yeah.
So
You
the
have
the Fatherhood Foundation, like you were saying,
Mm.
is that from a place of I can see there's a lack in the community?
Yeah.
Is
So
it from a
that,
personal experience as well, or
let me start about next year. Let me go forward before I go back.
Okay.
Next year, 2025, I'd have been doing fatherhood for 19 years. So 2026 will be 20 years. So I started in 2006. And next year, we're celebrating having reached out to 1 million people.
oh, that's
Beautiful.
1 million people
that's
in
major.
19, 20 years.
1 million and
great.
1 me.
So yeah, okay, Dims.
with me. Yes, and two with me.
So it started, and so that's a big achievement for us. And I hope to come back on the podcast so we can
No, for
celebrate that.
For sure,
most definitely.
But
We'll set the date.
it started in 2005 or 2005 when I turned. Now you'll know how old I am. When I turned 40,
Oh, we did the research.
2005 I turned 40.
Oh, happy birthday for 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
actually.
Yes.
yeah,
There you go.
to 1083. ne?
You see now, DP.
Nee, Dims gooi. Ek gooi klippers, alright.
I'm not counting
Oh,
from
no,
2040, so
You see, this is recently turned 30.
me and Mets is the other thing.
We like 3 years apart. Come on, man.
No, that's good. So I started that when I turned 40, and you know in the Bible and those kind of things,
Yes.
people get
Hey,
their
40s
callings
are
at 40s.
big
It's a-
number.
It's a very significant number and so on.
Big.
And then I was so acting is my career,
Yes.
but fatherhood is a calling on my
Yes.
life. I believe I was called to go speak to men. And the first thing I noticed was that my sisters, 3 of my sisters, were single parents. I'm going like, but I know the guys that you had the babies with. You didn't make a baby alone.
Mm.
Why are you bringing up children by yourself?
Yeah.
Waar is hy manne nou?
Yeah.
Hulle gaan seep koop.
Hey, and the
Well, it's
shop is-
closed.
shop is closed.
You know, so I wondered, why are these men doing this? Then I went as a celebrity. As a celebrity, I went to events, and I always I see there's more women and children than men. Where are the men?
Hey,
So then I did
concerned.
research, and I found out that 2/3 of our homes are single-parent homes.
That's true.
2/3. That means more children are now growing up without a father. Are you a father, James?
Yeah, and he's nog alive and kicking, 70 years old now.
Who? You're Lighty. I'm
My
asking,
father.
are you a father?
Oh, I thought you said, do I have a father?
No,
still?
no, no. Are you a father?
Yes, I'm a father. I'm a
Yes.
father.
So you know.
A proud one.
There you go.
There
And
you
you're
go.
involved in your kids' life. But lots of men make, and I teach this at schools when we go. We say any lighty can make a baby.
Not any
But it
life
takes
you
a
can be
man
father.
to raise-
to raise a child.
Yeah.
So any lighty can make a baby, but it takes a man to raise a child. And so I wrote this book called Daddy Come Home. Papi kom huis toe. Papa boeie kaya. And in this book, I talk about the importance of men in the house.
Yes.
First, not there in society. Don't keep you quiet in church or
Yes.
at work, or, you know, people see you and they think, hey, he's a quiet community guy.
Oh, yes.
And I say to them, what's the point of being a public hero, but at home you're a private failure?
At home you are abusing.
Public hero, but
being-
private failure. You don't have the control of your wife, kids. Kids talk to you like you're the child, you know, and you're not a leader in the house. You're not
Yes,
a
yes.
father to your children or a husband to your wife.
Yes.
Jy skel, jy slaan, jy doen allerhande goede, but you want to keep it quiet out there.
Yes.
So that book was primarily to call men home, to come and take their place first in society. In the home, sorry, before they can take it in society. So the home is the place of your greatest influence, men. That is the place of your greatest influence. If you can be a great leader at home, you can be a great leader anywhere. That's why I'm asking, are you fathers? So that for me was vitally important. And we've seen, do you know that boys who grow up without a father are 20 times more likely to end up in prison? And I find that when I go to Sun City, and I've been to lots of prisons. I've been to Diepkloof, I've been to Polsmoor, Voorberg, I've been to Christiana, I've been to Beaufort West, all these prisons, Leeuwkop, all of them. I go there, and the guys go, I grew up without a father.
Father.
Hey,
Father figure.
I joined the gang because I was, and boys will join gangs because they
see a
don't belong to a
parental figure.
gang called family, led by a leader called father. Fathers give you identity.
Amen.
Sure.
Shall I say it again?
Amen.
Are you busy next week? Because I know a couple of guys that would love to actually speak to you as well.
Yeah.
You.
No. So that's why we have this gang problems, especially in the bushy areas, because it's like this grow up without a father. So the gang leaders give them. The gang say, "Come join the I don't know if I can mention gangs here on this podcast and stuff, you know. The Varados, the fast guns, the
Bravo,
whatever.
wat is just please.
You know, you come join it, we'll give you identity. Because the light is growing up, he doesn't know where he fits in. When he gets to prison, he's at 26, he's 27, a crazy number. He knows where he fits in, he knows what he does. He finds family in these things, in the gang and in numbers and stuff. And that's not how it's supposed to be. He's supposed to find family at home, with father, with mommy, with siblings. But because daddy's not there, the light is lost. He's lost. He doesn't know who he is, and identity is not about who you are.
Yes.
And I talk a lot about identity.
Yeah.
Identity is not who you are, what you do, and all of that. Identity is literally whose you are. Once you know whose you are, you will know who you are. Because fathers, in the bloodline, when you get married, your wife takes your surname.
Yeah.
And you can trace the bloodline. Even if you look in the Bible or other genealogy books, it's always this guy was the father to this one, who was the father to that one. It's never it's one or two women, only 5 women are mentioned in genealogies. It's always from the men, because we carry the seed. We carry the Y chromosome or whatever that determines that
path, yes.
So the men literally are the progenitors and the carriers of the seed. Even the Bible says the sins of the fathers will be visited to the sons, to the 3rd and the 4th generation. Doesn't say it's sins of the mother.
Yeah.
It says the sins of the father will be visited to the children. So the father is vitally important. And we don't negate what women are doing. Women are doing great work. In fact, wherever I go, I thank the single mothers. This country is being held together by single mothers.
Single parents, yeah.
She works 2 jobs, in a second shift on the second job, just to make sure there's food on the table, electricity in the box, school fees are paid, and of course, airtime. The ladies want airtime to go on
Data.
TikTok and stuff. Yeah, mommy, buy data. Mothers are, a pensioner, with a pension of $2,000, which is what pension is now, who's got a family of 7 herself. She's got 7 people she's looking after, plus the neighbors' kids that come and ask for food or seker or fleenies. She does it with $2,000 a month. How she does it on that money, I don't know. She doesn't know. God
God's
knows.
work. That's
But to
purely
those
God's
people,
work,
I say, I take my hats off to you.
Yes.
Thank you, mothers, for doing what you're doing. But men, it's time that we step up. And
That's
thank
true.
you for the men that do play their roles.
Yeah.
Thank you for the men that are at home, that are leaders, that do what they must do. You know? But they're in the minority. Most of the men are not playing their role. They make lighties here. He's got a cherry here in Aldo's. You come there in Regenpark, he's got someone else there. You go to Kimberley, he's got 2 girls pregnant there. And the owns call him dog. Hey, hier's jou hond.
Starring.
Hulle sê ook nog, hier's op my bro. Hol hom in.
Hey, hol hom
Hier's
in.
die hond. And you is a hond, my bro. Because
Yes,
only a dog runs after
Yes.
Everything is his.
in the
Everything
street.
with the
You know what I
street,
mean?
yes.
In fact, my dog disappears for 2 weeks every year. I don't know. I've got a high wall. I don't know how he gets over there. I think the other dogs help him.
En dit-
Kom
dit is net
gaan,
2 weeks.
gaan maak jou ding. Hy's weg. Vir 2
Dis
weke is hy
feest
hond
of-
weg.
Dis feest
Hy kom
of-
terug. Hy's maar. Hy
Hey,
het geëet vir 2
klaar.
weke. Maar ek weet waar hy was.
ek dink ja, hond is gebyte.
That dog will come sit at the gate and I'm saying, hey bro, you were gone for a couple of days, but I know where he was.
We were just printing
You know.
the missing posters.
You know what I mean? Ek weet waar was jy, joh.
So we're like talking about the book. Waar kry die boek? Where
I
does
should have brought a
people-
copy for you guys, but they
Yes.
can just contact us as the Fatherhood
Can they
Foundation.
follow you home and then we'll get a copy there?
You see now. Not
Pull it
in
in,
this
pull it.
country.
Ek sou nie het mag mos van die hond ek is
Ek gaan daar hond
oorgejump.
Is 'n boerboel, dit so groot.
Uncle
Kom maar
Zane,
steek dit.
Uncle Zane, just if it does follow you, just take him there through Rivoli. There's some very nice places there that you can become accustomed to.
You know, our church is in fact my offices are even still in Westbury. They're in Dowling Avenue, you know, because I want to be in the community because that's where the need is.
Yes.
That's where the need is. You don't find me in faraway places. I'm there.
You have to be on the ground
We
amongst
work.
the people to
I do
understand
most of
the-
Understand
my
what's
work.
happening, yeah.
Do most of my work in the Cape Flats in Cape Town, and Westbury, and you know I go wherever I'm called. We do what we need to do, and that's how we managed to reach 1 million people in.
So
in-
over the years, in your career, in your experience, in what you've seen,
Sorry, where do we find the book?
So the book I'm gonna a
let's
Fatherhood
go back
Foundation.
first.
You can
Sorry.
you can contact us at info. If you have internet now,
Internet access.
you want to send me an email, info at FFSA. FFSA stands for Fatherhood Foundation South Africa. FFSA. Then it's .org.za, not .co.za.
It's not a company,
.org.
it's an organization.
.za. Then info, and then we'll you send us your number, whatever, and then I send you the book right to your house.
For free?
Amazing.
No,
Oh,
you have to
hey, but I didn't hear you. Then you add your details there or something.
yeah. No, you put your details, we'll contact you.
We like Mahala.
Timpy, I'll give you one.
Ah,
How's that? You get a free book. You get a free book. You, Eric, gets a free book. Your man gets a free book.
Amen.
There we go.
Amen.
There we
Like
go.
Oprah must give stuff
There we
away.
go.
You get a free book. You get a... Now,
Uncle
say-
Zane, Uncle Zane, so naturally your work is in the communities. You have this foundation, right? Like, have you ever had like these like one-on-one counseling sessions?
Yes, we do. So we do all of that. We have camps. We do seminars. We do community groups. We do church groups. We do whatever. And then we have one-on-one counseling. One-on-one counseling is great because very few men, and I laugh, very few men will come to me and say, I've got a problem. Like, I don't know what to do in my house. I don't know what. I grew up without a father.
Yeah.
Help me. What do I do? Young guys will come and say, hey, what kind of father and man must I be? Because I didn't grow up without a father now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe younger guys will come. But if you talk to the guys who are already married for a couple of years, you ask them, how's things at home? Nee, passash, alles is reg, 100. But they lying, ask their wives. It's always the women that come to me and say,
The sigh.
please,
The sigh and the head
I
shake.
need help with the house. So we definitely do one-on-one counseling. We do group counseling. I do a lot of the Mighty Men talks. I don't know if you know Angus Bachen, who does those Mighty Men camps where all the men come together and we camp for a weekend and so on. You know, I do a lot of that. Just this year I've done already 3 of those. I go there, I'm a guest speaker at those kind of things. Where
I'd
2.5.
I'd like to be part of it.
Yes, 2.5, 3,000 men come together, and we talk to the men. We empower them, you know, and we talk about men issues, and they camp for the weekend. That's a nice thing. And then on the Sunday, the wives and the young girls can come. But from Friday and Saturday,
is only guys.
just the men and the boys there. Then we can talk real stuff, and we talk stuff like real issues. For me, a big thing is lots of men are caught up in addictions that we don't know about. You can be a pastor now, but when you're at home and you're in the toilet on your phone, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Lots of people are caught up in pornography and we don't even know about it. And it's destroying marriages. It's creating expectations. The wives are going, you want me to do what?
Yeah.
Because he's seen it now in a
wardrobe
thing.
jump.
Verstaan je? You want me to wear a
Batman.
Spider-Girl outfit and I
It's too
Verstaan
much.
je?
It's
Yo,
too much.
because the guys are seeing that on thingy. And also then
That's so true.
there's certain drugs people are taking that in the old days you smoke dacha, we can smell it on you.
Yes.
We can check you
Now
morph, like we
it's-
called it. you
Yeah.
know. Now it's these
Odorless,
sophisticated.
powderless,
There's
colourless,
people who are
it's
addicted
dangerous.
to prescription drugs.
Painkillers and
Prescription
And the
that you
likes.
you go to the chemist to get them. You don't get it from a drug dealer in a corner.
you need
They're
the
addicted to
doctor
those
has to be
kind of
involved there.
So there's addictions. There's addictions. Pornography is a big thing.
Gambling.
Gambling as well.
Gambling is a
Gambling.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you can gamble online now. No
No,
one
that's
used
the
to
thing.
know.
Like, it used
Sports bet.
Hey.
Sports, the soccer
Hey.
bets. Liverpool's going to win this week. Plus
Hey.
Pirates.
Hey.
Plus
Now you-
Amazulu.
Hey, now you're pushing
You
it.
understand?
Hey.
We don't know what you're doing. But so we no, at those camps we tackle those things.
Oh,
We tackle
okay.
real things where we say, gents, plus the way you're leading your family is not right, you know. A voice of a father is so important. I wish we had more time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about
No,
that
continue,
another time.
continue.
No, but the voice of father is so important because fathers need to say stuff. They need to say stuff to their kids.
Yes.
Our kids today are lost, especially in our bushy areas.
Yes.
Kids today don't have role models, as I mentioned earlier. They join the gangs because they don't belong to their family. Plus, they don't have role. Who's their role models? I tell the business guys, like me, I go back to my office is in Westbury. My church is in Westbury. I'm in Westbury. I don't leave the community now that I'm upwardly mobile.
Yes. Oh,
That's what lots of people do. They move out.
Forget
Then the only role models that are left is
the
drug
Mangas
leaders, yes,
and
dog.
Maflarala and I own
Hey.
That's it. You
You
know,
hoor somebody naam.
those are the guys that's now. Then they're like, you ask the lighties on the Cape Flats, what do you want to be when you're old? No, I'm going to be a merch. Gaan 'n merchie is.
Eish.
Because the merchie, when his mother doesn't have food, the merchie comes with groceries. Do you understand?
Yeah.
He comes to support the auntie so. Groceries, ek sien julle sukkel bietjie, hier's groceries, hier's klere vir die kinders.
Yeah.
They look after their community. So when the cops come and say, who sells drugs, there's nowhere they're going to
I
say.
don't know the place though.
That's the bread and
You
butter.
know, who got shot? Who owns the gun? We
How
don't know
it's
nothing.
quiet.
You know, that's the sad thing. That for me is the sad thing. That's the thing that hurts.
So I was gonna ask, sorry, before the questions were asked, I was gonna ask in terms of like positive influence and positive like what's the word? Restructuring. Do you feel reinforcement? Do you feel that our roles on TV should then be more in line with the positive?
No,
role
that's
models
why
more than-
my big thing was at Seven Laan. Show me as an aspirational person.
Yes.
He owns a newspaper. His son is a lawyer.
Yes.
We don't.
So
We're always checking. Oh, where
do you
will they
feel
go?
that, because I mean, I'll
we're
use
always
mine,
playing those
mine
roles.
is the example. I got the role as the gangster,
You understand?
and I
On
had to
Seven Laan.
kidnap a child. Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Now that's stereotypical.
Very
They're
stereotypical,
assuming.
Yes.
They're moving away from. So when I have a choice, I go, no, I don't play that role. I'm going to play that role.
Yeah.
Get someone else to play it who wants to, but
Yes.
I want to be aspirational.
Yeah.
Show my people the way they really are, because we
Yes.
do have lawyers. We look at the house we're in. There are businessmen who own businesses who do. Why don't we play those roles? Why don't we tell those stories? Why must we always play the gangsters and
So
the things?
do you feel there are enough people up there making the decisions to give us those roles?
So for me, I
Or
say
have
to
we been
people,
struggling?
no, we got to tell our own stories now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I go. That's
okay.
if you speak to the guys that like Wadeland and so on, you'll see the stories we tell. There's a movie on EVOD and on Amazon called Klip Ankerby.
I've seen the trailer for it. It looks
I wrote and directed that one.
Hmm.
It's about
Okay.
all the stories I now tell are about bushy people.
yes.
All my movies I now make is about our people.
That's great.
Because no one is telling our stories.
And if they do tell
No
us
one,
stories,
I'm
they
going to
watch
say
the
this
story.
straight out now. No one, if you look at all the telenovelas being made, all the soapies. So and I'm not being racist, but it's about black people in Joburg. If I want to work, I'll have to go down to Cape Town.
Yeah.
That's where they
Yeah.
shoot. Orange Vlees finished now, but Zuidoost is there. Kelders van Geheim is there. What was the other one?
Sarah se Geheim was also.
All of them are being shot in Cape
Cape
Town.
Town.
If as a bushy I want to work, I'll have to move to Cape Town to work. Because in Joburg, no one's telling my story.
The struggle now is we have to.
That's why
audition for
people
roles
think
that aren't
all
for
bushy
us.
people, colored people come
Are
from
from
Cape
Cape
Town.
Town.
Because all the stories take place there. What about a Regenpark, Eldo's, Reveille, Bosmont, Westbury story? Regenpark, Easterus.
Yes.
What about those?
There's no story.
You know?
Uncle Zane, the question
no
then
story.
comes down to, is that do you feel there is it's an agenda problem, or is it more so just a matter of
Representation problem.
oh no, not necessarily, no, like
No, I mean representation from the point of up above.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
I'm
so
very-
you have the people in charge that want the ad, that want the show.
Bruh,
I get
And
you
then you
there.
have somebody that goes,
Can I
we
also?
need 7 colored
Yes,
people.
here's my big thing. BEE does not include me. When I go with a proposal somewhere and I hand it in for a tender, they go, "Are you guys BEE even although they can
Compliant,
see
yeah.
I'm not white?
Yeah.
Are you
It's
BEE
written on
compliant?"
paper, 100%.
There's got to be a Ndlovu or Masaleko or something on that document for them to think you be. That is reverse racism, in my opinion. That's why I don't support, in a broad sense, the BEE thing, because it excludes people like me.
Yeah.
It excludes people like they look at me and they go, "Are you BEE compliant?" I said, "Well, I'm a PDI. Back then, I was a previously disadvantaged individual
Yes.
in apartheid.
Yes.
Now it's you got to be black.
CDI.
And that's
currently
for me.
disadvantaged individual.
That's like, guys, now, why? You know what I mean? They put the
Yeah.
thing in the newspaper a couple of years ago. All the tenders above 30 million and 50 million is not for Indian and colored people. Must only go to black companies.
Oh.
So
then-
that's where it starts. Now you've got to employ these people. And let me tell you, be honest, now, if I were to be appointed as head of Mnet or whatever, I would say, guys, we want to, wait, come. Eric, you guys come, we're going to gooi
Call it something. Or
That's what I
put
want to
something
see
together.
because it's my frame of reference.
Yes.
So I'm not blaming the guys who are the commissioning editors and stuff.
Yes, yes.
They want to see their stories from their communities.
Yes.
But there's not enough of our people in those
In
positions
those positions.
to say, guys, let's tell a colored story also, an Indian
And
story.
an authentic colored story.
You know what I mean? Not the
typical
gangster one. Or this,
spinning cars.
my clip Anchor By is about a professional woman who now has to go back to the fishing town where she
I'm
comes
gonna
from.
find this.
But she's a professional here in Joburg. She's about to be a mate partner in a company. But now she gets called back to the small fishing town where her father just died. She must take over the fishing company. She's going, no, I'm going back to Joburg. I'm just going to bury my father and go back. But then this community draws her back in, and she
Becomes
finds a love.
immersed again.
So
Oh,
you know,
that's nice.
but it's our people's story, and
Yes.
it's a real story. It's what's happening for real on the
Yes.
West Coast.
Yes.
So our colored people are losing. They've been fishermen for not 50 years.
Centuries.
For centuries, they've been catching fish, living on that piece of beach. Now they're being told, now you can only catch 10 snook. So how am I? That's just to feed my family. How am I going to make a living to sell snook?
Damaging the industry.
You know, but now the big ships, INJ and not INJ, whatever, or those people now
Big
come.
trawlers.
The big trawlers come. They can catch as many fish as one. And where do those fish go? They don't even come to South Africa. They go to
They
China,
go.
America,
They
all
go.
of the best.
They go.
I bought crayfish the other day. A friend gave me a box of crayfish because he exports it. He's from PE. And he gave me a box of crayfish. And the tails were this big.
Oh.
Crayfish tails this big. What do we buy when we buy from the guys? We buy crayfish tails like this.
Hey, it's those.
The
Plain,
exported
katabalikis.
ones that's in a box that goes to France and Germany and whatever
God.
are these big, huge things. You know,
Yes.
we get the...
I saw
Leftovers.
them. I saw them in the works at when I used to work at the airport. Yeah, no, I know.
You know,
I've seen
so-
these things. It's crazy.
So for me, there's a lot. So we're not being... So all my stories now deal with my people.
yes,
My experiences, how I want to tell it. And we got to stand up and say, hey, guys, tell the story.
if you are going to have a colored gangster, give him depth.
Why is
Give
there...
the full scale.
Why is there Mzansi Magic 1, Mzansi Where 2, Mzansi dinges. But 6 or 7 channels that are just aimed at Sotho, Xhosa, you know, different languages. You
Yes.
could go on Mnet and watch a Sotho soapy. They're now even changing the Indian movies into local
Oh
languages.
yes, the Indian movies are dubbed from Gujarati
From Hindi, yeah,
to
to
Afrikaans
or
with English
Xhosa.
subtitles. Yes,
They're
yes,
not
yes.
doing
yes.
I haven't
Xhosa or
seen
Sotho.
the
You haven't
also
seen those?
variants. I've always seen the,
It's-
you know, the Afrikaans
it's
one.
And then
very
the lips go
confusing.
after the
Yeah,
words.
the lips are after the words.
The
It's
lips saying I love you
confusing.
this time.
The auntie speaking Afrikaans.
Yeah.
For the longest, you know, right?
But now, where is our channel? Just one channel
Yeah,
that tells...
Our stories.
our
You know.
stories.
Just one. I don't want, you know, and people are saying, why you want to be segregationist? I'm not being
We're trying
segregationist.
to include
But
ourselves.
why do we have a whole channel why do we have a radio channels called Tobela and Radio Shangan and there's no, we've got to listen to Kofifi FM and
Yes.
there's just one or two. And they don't, the signal isn't big.
Yeah, it's not
Elvis
a
FM
wide
isn't
range.
big.
If you're outside
You
of
just
the
drive
range,
past, what's the name? That signal's
Gone.
gone. It's regional.
Gone.
There's no national
Jy
channel.
by die radio station and
You know,
I just want to ask. Sorry, man.
park outside to get the signal.
It's with
Yeah.
with this being said and our story being told, which would really be an honor for us to also get that platform, right?
Yeah.
For our stories to be told.
Yes.
Just a few, like 1 or 2 words for encouragement for that young person watching. They would like to be part of this movement or part
Yes.
of their stories being told.
So
That's what I'm trying to say. Like
it's coming.
doing-
It's coming. What encourages me now is that our Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture,
Amen.
Amen.
is a Bushi.
Eish,
And he
take the
understands.
cake. Eish.
He understands where we come from. You know, we had doubts. We were going, hi, this guy.
but he
He's a
came,
pandit and what.
came in
Yeah.
with force.
But even the people in the arts sector are saying, this guy's actually doing what we want him to do.
Amen.
He's doing what the arts sector needs. He's the only minister that... Have you heard of the Minister of Roads or Construction?
Nothing
There's
yet.
Have you heard of
those-
the minister? But this Minister of Sports is everywhere.
It's only-
It's just...
It's only
Since
him
day
and,
one,
it's like-
it's
him and
how-
electricity.
You know
They're,
what I
they're
mean?
working hard.
Yeah.
We are here, guys.
It's like
the
just
stuff he said is
Gaten.
gonna
Gaten is he the only guy that's doing stuff because I don't hear social development. You don't hear.
nothing.
Yeah. But this sports, arts, culture, and
He's
culture minister,
working.
he's going.
It's working.
Now I'm hoping he sees and he's doing the right stuff everywhere. So I'm hoping he's going to come and say, guys, let's have a Bushy channel. Let's tell more of our people's stories.
Oh, that's
Directed
Let's
by our
beautiful.
people.
Let's go back
Starring
and
our
we
people.
name Cape Town International because Durban has Ushaka International Airport.
Yeah.
Cape Town is just Cape Town. Joburg is OR Tambo. Why aren't we calling Cape Town Kritoa Airport or Achumatu
Yes.
International Airport?
Yes.
Named after our people
people.
in our language.
Yes.
Why aren't we changing Table Mountain back to Kamisa? You know, sweet waters, because you know there's 36 fountains on Table Mountain that the freshest water flows.
Didn't know that, but
Yeah,
that is a
Kamisa.
knowledge to live with. Wow.
Kamisa is a Khoi name for sweet waters, like Amanzim Toti in
Oh
IsiZulu.
yes, that's
So Kamisa, there's 36 fountains coming off, and the Khoi people used to live there. And I was a big advocate, I must tell you guys, of our First Nation people. I joined the Foundation Nation movement because we wanted the recognition of our people. Bushis, we call ourselves, colored, brown people, Khoi, Griqua, whatever you want to call them. That for me, and you know what? Our first foundation movement, they didn't want land. They didn't want money, like give us now, because for example, the Zulu king gets over 50 million a year to run his kingdom, the Zulu kingdom.
Yes.
To be able to do cultural events and what. Gets 15 million a year. What do you think the Khoi people get?
Nothing.
First of all, we must first find out who's the Khoi king that we can say.
Who is the guy?
But we don't need one, because there was the Garang Griqua, then there was the Griqua, then there was with different people, just different clans of different, but they were the first people here.
Yes.
They were the first. If you were to come and you have to go back, you would find that the so-called Hottentot and the Khoi were there already.
Yes.
And they were the First Nation people, and that's the Foundation Nation people, who worshipped an almighty God. They weren't pagan gods who worshipped, whenever they killed an animal, they didn't kill, there's 15 Springbok, they didn't kill them all.
Not for joy.
They killed 2. Then they thank the Father for having killed and providing food. But they leave the others to breed. They know they must breed because they're going to need. Then the white man came, and the white man started killing. There was a period in the 1600s where these guys, hunters, used to come to South Africa. They go hunt, they shoot 300 zebra in one day.
Sports
for what? No, just for the fun of it.
Just for trophies.
And then they started hunting the Khoisan.
Yeah.
It became a thing. There was actually, you got paid for bringing a dead Khoisan. That's our people. So we don't want.
Part of history
It's part of history that you won't be taught.
It's not being told. It's not.
You won't be taught.
It needs to be,
because they were just animals. They live out there, and yet people like Achumatu, we always show him in a loincloth, and they call him Harry the Strandloper.
Yes.
But he was a businessman. Before Van Riebeeck came, he was busy fixing people's boats that used to come, and he had a trading store that he would trade food and stuff for them, and he used to fix boats and that. So people always see him like. His niece, Kritoa, who married one of Van Riebeeck's guys. She was also the first female prisoner on Robben Island. Was an interpreter. She spoke 4 different languages. So when the English would come, she would speak English to them, and the Dutch came. She knew different language. They even took her to Java and Mauritius. They took her with there to go and do. People don't know this history. So we didn't want land. We didn't want money. We just wanted the recognition. Just give the Bushi people the recognition that they are the First Nation people. When we run out there and the Springboks play, the world will think the Zulus were the main people in South Africa, because look there. There's 2 Zulu warriors running out. The only man who ever had a Khoisan praise singer in front of him, because those are called Mbongis, praise singers who go out in front of the Springboks, was Mandela. And what you didn't know about Mandela was that he was Khoisan. He was 80% Khoi blood. Not very many people know that. Mandela was a Bushi. Mandela was a Bushi. No one knew that. He was 80% Khoi. If you see when he got older, how he looked.
Yeah, you see him.
You see, they even called him Rolly Flakes. They called him Rolly Flakes in high school, guys.
I see this out of any casting.
As he got older, he got more and more Khoi.
Yes.
The blood came through. His mother was practically a purebred Khoisan woman who married into the Xhosa. So it came through. And it made sense that the first leader of this new democracy called the Rainbow Nation would be a Khoi man. Spiritually, everything else, that was the right thing to do. Yes. That's why for those 5 years, we had the best time ever. Remember 95? I don't know how young you guys were.
I mean, 95 is when it came about.
Yeah, 95 we said, Rugby World Cup, we won. 96 we won the Africa Cup of Nations. Probably the last time Bafana was in a final. I never cried so much in that 5 years.
It is like 20 years back.
We can now invite the white neighbors over and the black neighbors. And we could now invite people, because Mandela just set the tone as the father. Father is a big thing of mine. As you know, he was the father. He was the first father of this nation. He set the tone, the atmosphere. He was the founder. He was just, and in that 5 years, would that we had him for 10. He shouldn't have. He just had 1 term. Then he said, I'm stepping down.
Yeah.
I wish he had said, okay, I'm going to do another term. Because you can't birth a baby and then you leave the baby
Just
now.
like that.
We needed that
Yeah,
baby just to
raise
grow
it,
up a bit. We needed more stability in Mandela. We needed more stability as a father leading us. Then we could have moved over to the statesman, which was Mbeki.
Mbeki,
Yeah, we could send him anyway. He spoke well.
Yeah.
Send him to meet the Queen. He spoke beautifully. He was clever. He also did a beautiful speech that said, I am an African. I owe my ancestry to the Khoi who ran. Hey, he was the first one to acknowledge the Khoi as the first people.
Yes.
And Mandela was the first guy in parliament to have the praise singer. He had a Khoi praise singer going on. And he only did it once. Afterwards, they told him, you can't do that. You are
Are
Xhosa.
there records of this?
Yeah, you can go back to the very first parliamentary sitting
Sure.
and go and see. There was a Khoi praise singer who went out there.
No, we need to work on this
You know,
thing and,
and-
get our stories told properly, man.
Yeah, and they said to him,
Wow.
no, you can't do that because we can't have the recognition. Till today, they don't acknowledge the Khoi as the first people. It doesn't benefit them.
I remember the Nando's advert. Do you remember that Nando's advert?
Which one?
The one where
Oh.
people would disappear, where they're accusing each other of not being there first. No, you weren't
Yeah.
here. Pff.
Yeah.
No, you weren't here.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody starts disappearing, and
Yeah,
eventually
yeah.
it's just a Khoisan guy.
Do you
left.
understand?
And then he says in the language,
Yeah.
no, you guys found me here. Ah. All of you
understand?
found me here. Yeah.
No, that's that. Nando speaks the truth a lot of
Nando's.
the time.
Oh, Nando's.
Straight to the point.
And
Sponsor.
yet, legislatively, on our emblem, our
Coat of arms.
coat of arms, there's the Khoi guys.
Khoi is
there.
on
Uh-huh.
You know,
it's
and-
good.
Yeah, and Clay,
Yes.
you know, it's on there. It's on. They acknowledge it there, but they can't acknowledge it legislatively. They can't just say. And so many things will change if they go, listen, guys, the Khoisan were the first people.
Just need to sit with the
We just-
Minister
yeah.
of Sports, Arts and
Yeah,
Culture.
you know.
We're getting there.
And his
Process.
culture, ne? His sports, arts, and culture.
Culture.
He must just say, guys, we want the recognition of the Khoisan as the first people. No land, no one now suddenly gets money
nobody
or
needs to
land
give
or
us
we
anything,
go,
just
we want this,
see
we want
us.
Cape Town back. No one's going to say that. Just acknowledge it. You'll see things change.
Amen.
Yeah.
I talk about this is the big thing for me. So when you guys said come on the show, I thought
No,
I'm-
this is
I'm gonna just
beautiful.
come.
That's what we
Let you
needed.
guys
That's what we
This
needed.
is
Yo.
yeah.
In the history books, we learned about the Great Trek. Remember the
Yes.
Great Trek? That the Afrikaners,
Yes.
but the Afrikaners, the first Afrikaners were bushy people. The first people to be called Jager Afrikaner and his brother. They were coloureds. They were bushies. They were the first African. The language Afrikaans was first spoken
They saw the movie
By-
before everyone else.
by an imam in the Boerkaap.
It's blind.
It was a language spoken in the kitchens. He spoke Afrikaans, and it was a language spoken in the kitchens of the workers. And then these white people decided to leave, but it always seemed like just white people left. They don't say that 20% or 30% of the people in that
Were.
who was gonna clean, who was gonna unspun the oxen.
Okay, so we left,
Who-
and then they're like, "No, we must go there so they can clean our kitchens there."
No, we went with them.
We
With a
went
groot
with them.
trek.
We were the
The people who
Yes.
fought against the Zulus in the Battle of
Yeah.
Blood River, inside that lager,
Yes.
they were colored people, loading the guns and fighting and shooting as well. They won't admit it. Will always say, Andries, what's his name? He was the guy who defeated us. You forget who were the cleaners and the servants and all of that. You had them there. They were colored people. They spoke Afrikaans. And you guys took that language and perfected it and made it now as if it's a white language when it was actually spoken by us
So it was
first.
the first. It was like a linguistic colonization.
Yes, also. There you go. I love that. It's very
It's
good. They
proper.
colonized our language.
Man.
They took it. They appropriated from the. No problem
It's
with that.
mine. Afrikaans is mine.
As ons in 'n man, ons het soek, and so therefore, when I watch shows like Suidooster, when they change things and it become, the Cape Town people must can't say jy. Ek en jy, dis ek en jy, ek en jy. I go, yes, let's speak it the way it was ours originally.
That's how
Let's
it was
speak
spoken,
it.
yeah.
Let's change it and let's use it the way we feel fit because
Yes.
it's in our DNA.
technically ours.
It's our language. It's our thing.
It's ours.
I mean, when we were on Sevenderland, we were told to
No,
say
we
it.
had to speak it
Black Pa.
properly. Yes.
And you say niet Jane, you
Yes.
say yay. You must say yay.
Yeah.
And we were taught the very sort of sanitized and non-cultural way of speaking.
Very bougie.
No problem with that because you all learned Afrikaans from
Yeah,
it.
I
and that
mean,
was a good
look at the,
You know.
the Afrikaans marks between the years 2005 and
Yeah.
2010. I mean,
Yeah.
we were passing.
Yeah.
And then when Simple
I
Love
go.
got cancelled.
I can go to
no.
Durban.
Now.
There's people in Durban. Indian people come, hey, I know you, Uncle Neville.
Yes.
Because of you, I passed Afrikaans.
Yeah.
I go to wherever in the country. They all know Neville Menkes and Charmaine. And they say most, of course, waar Charmaine?
Yeah, waar
Where's
Charmaine?
Charmaine? Yeah.
Where's my 100?
Yeah. She's now on Kelders
also wanna ask like
She's
that,
on
eh?
Kelders van Geheime.
Oh,
Okay.
She's on that show now. I think I'm one of the few actors not on that show. Everyone's on that.
nice.
Ali Bushies is the
You and
best
I,
show.
you and I.
Yeah, then we're
also
gonna
still
wait.
auditioning.
We're gonna
I'm still
tell our own
auditioning.
stuff. We're gonna tell a Joburg college story.
Yeah.
It's about time, you know.
Wow. Yeah, no, we have to. We have to own our story because if we don't own our story, somebody else will.
My last point. I don't know how long our program is. We're gonna end.
take it away.
Our last point on the Bushy people. There was a guy called Mal Maltari.
Mel Maltari.
Yeah, he was a Christian guy, and God spoke to him one day to say, "Go look at the zebra. Go look at the zebra." And this is a prophetic word for South Africa. He said, "Go look at the zebra." So he went to look. He says, "God, I don't need to look at the zebra. I know." He had this inkling to go. God is telling him to look at the color of a zebra. He says, "No, the zebra is black and white." I know it's black and white. I don't have to go look. Everybody knows that zebra is black and white. And he felt this prompting to go and study the zebra. And it was a prophetic word for South Africa. He had never been to Africa, by the way, this guy, Mal Maltari. But he was prompted to come. And so he came to Africa to look at the Birchall's zebra, the Cape Mountain zebra, and all of these zebras. And then he went to Kenya also to look at all those zebras there. And he found out there's only one troop of zebras that is pure black and white, and they're in Kenya. That is, you look at them, they look white with black stripes or black with white stripes, whichever way you want to go.
Whichever one you like.
But every other zebra, including the Cape Mountain zebra, Birchall zebra, all the other zebras are brown with black and white stripes. And his word was, apartheid was the white stripes. It had their time.
Yeah.
The word of the Lord, the
Yes,
word
yes,
God
yes.
gave him spiritually was, apartheid was the white stripes. They had their time. The ANC had 30 years. That's the black stripe. But you haven't gone down to the base coat, which is the brown. And until you acknowledge that, and until those people lead, we won't allow. You know, we brag that we're in the Rainbow Nation, and in our Springboks play, we somehow united, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But you must admit that there's still inherent racism
Hey, if
here.
they lose, or if
No, there's
if money kicks you.
No,
hey.
not even that. I'm
Not
talking
even
about
that
in
also,
society.
yeah.
Yes.
There's inherent racism.
Yeah.
Because now you light bone, but what's his name is about dark skin now. There's a thing, you know. There's inherent racism. You can go into certain places and people still look at you as if to say, what you
shouldn't
doing?
be here.
What are you doing?
You know.
Do you not see?
Or
the-
you
can
look at
not
yourself
read the
on
room?
TV and there's just one colored guy and 50, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still there.
Yeah.
But until we are acknowledged as that brown coat underneath that the white and black is on top of, things won't fall into place. And that was the message that he got for South Africa. Sure. Go and read his writing, Mal Maltari. Go and see that prophetic vision he got for South Africa. And for me, that is vitally important. Bushy people are going to stand. There's going to be a Bushy leader.
No,
one
we're
day.
gonna have
It's
you
gonna
back
be a colored,
in about 2 years'
colored-
time,
a colored
and then we're just gonna have you going, ha!
Yeah.
Told you.
Until that happens, I think we're gonna see
Zane,
still a lot of
wow. Wow,
Here we
wow,
go.
wow.
In conclusion,
Yeah.
all these powerful gems you've given us, all
Yeah.
these words of wisdom, all these gevleelde woorden.
Ja,
Heel
ja,
de- heel de- heel de-
Hey.
I forgot that.
Out
Yeah.
of all of this,
Yeah.
is there any last thing that you want to say to a little bushy boy that grew up without a father?
The next level.
Little
Listen.
bushy boy that wants to make it informed, that wants to
To do something that wants to bring about change in the community. He doesn't
Lots
know
of people.
it yet. But
Yes. So lots of people look at me and they assume I come from a privileged background. Then I tell them, they can't believe it when I say I grew up in Bilta, Noordgesig.
Noordgesig, yeah.
I was born in Paraguanet Hospital and we lived in Noordgesig. And we were 10 people in a 2-bedroom house. My mother, my father, my granny, and 7 children. 10 people in a 2-bedroom house. And people look at me and they go, no man, but you Neville, don't you live in a fancy house? I'm going, no, that's Neville.
the portrayal.
Zane came from Noordgesig, grew up here in Rivoli, and had to go through whatever Zane had to go through to make it where he is today. You know, but if I can do it,
You can do it.
Dimpy can do it, you can do it, you can do it, Almain. Anyone, in that young boy, your dreams are not impossible. Don't ever think you must have a certain status or privilege to be able to live your dreams out. It'll come to you. It'll come but you must have one. You got to have a dream.
Yes.
You know,
Most
there's so many of
important.
our ladies today, they don't. No one teaches them also to dream. Moenie stupid as man. You can't do that.
Yeah.
No. Don't talk like that.
Don't.
That can't come true.
Yeah.
Don't tell children that.
Allow children
If a
to
child
dream.
says he wants to be an astronaut, say,
Let
go
him.
for it. Reach for the stars, my
Let
child.
him.
You know, we'll talk to Elon Musk to start the
Yeah,
space
of course.
program.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know,
can come back.
don't ever tell children
Not to dream.
not to dream, because dreams give you wings to fly. And I had a dream. My father, when we were growing up, my father bought me a projector. And we used to show movies to the communities. We didn't always go to the cinema.
Yes.
On a Friday night, my father would go, hire movies, you know, with the reels.
Yes, the real.
Yeah.
And we charge people. My mother would make popcorn and cook sisters.
Oh,
and
that's beautiful.
we'd say to the community, come, we're going to show this movie. Whoever wants to come, pull
Yeah.
in. And people would come. Our house would be full of people who paid 50 cents or
50
whatever,
Yeah.
you know,
They
to watch. And then that's where my love of acting came. And I said, one day,
I'm going to be
Because
there.
I want to be the guy that people
I'm going to be
watch.
in the real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be the hero.
And here
Yeah.
I am today. And
Yeah.
I've fulfilled thick dreams come true, guys. Young
Every
man,
dream
young
you
woman,
believe.
don't you ever give up on your dreams, but reach for something. Have something to reach for. Become the best MC, comedian,
Yes. Rapper,
presenter,
singer,
rapper,
presenter,
whatever.
everything.
Dream like that. Dream like that. You know, one of my favorite rappers is the Bushy guy, aka the late aka,
Ash.
and he does that song Now Congratulate Me, and it says he tells a story of how he started.
Started out with
You
a
know.
pipe dream.
Started with a pipe dream, but it says, do you see what it took? Is it clearer? Who you see when you look in the mirror. All your dreams and fantasies, they come together. Now you're shining like a diamond.
And that's
Now congratulate me. But it takes hard work.
It takes time.
It takes hard work. It does that.
Takes
You know.
time.
And I'm also still going to tell his story one day. I want
Yeah.
to tell his story.
Uncle Zane.
but that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the inspiration. That's the inspiration of our people. We got to celebrate our people more.
Yes.
We got to stop pulling each other down.
Down,
Yes.
yeah.
Dimpy's not that good. We're going to go with.
We're gonna try someone
Let's go.
else.
No, we try to, let's push. Let's celebrate when someone does something. Let's celebrate them instead of. Het jy nog gesien wat het daar gebeur? Dalmain was
yeah.
trying to present him.
Ash.
Work.
Ash.
Let's not do
En
that.
hulle hou die kop regtig so.
Hey.
Yeah, let's not do that. Let's celebrate and say they're doing something. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
Let's, and push the new talent that's coming. Push. My time can't be forever. I can't always have the limelight. So I'm saying,
Gotta turn the
there's my
spotlight
new
to somebody
director
else.
now. That's someone I'm working on.
Yes.
Here's my new MC.
Yes.
I live on by pushing other people up forward instead of always trying to live on by being in the
legacy.
limelight.
Yeah.
Ek is klaar. My
Yeah.
story is uit.
Uncle Zane. Wow. No. There's no words. There's no words.
Yeah.
You want to close it off?
Yeah.
Just want to say,
Yeah.
Uncle Zane, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys.
This
Yeah.
was incredible. This was very insightful.
Yeah.
And
I hope it wasn't too heavy. We should have kept it light.
that's all I can
no,
say
it's
is-
great. Exactly
All I can
what
say
it
is,
is.
all I can say is the best part about this podcast. It's not so much the people we bring together. It's not so much the different stories. It's not so much the different attitudes. Because one thing that we all have in common is the fact that we are not bougie.
Yeah, bushy.
We are bushy. Bushy.
I got the t-shirt, man. I'm living the dream.
Guys, please don't forget before we go, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
TikTok, Facebook,
All over the
and
place.
On
YouTube
Instagram, it's
especially,
official
yeah.
Bushy podcast. And thank you so much for the love and support, man. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for pulling through.
Thank you guys.
Away.